something in the water. There's something in the air. The proof is all around us. The symptoms are everywhere.
It's not a matter of time, sure as the blaze in your eyes. I sense a subtle shift, instincts I can't resist, weary of wolves in disguise. Drunk on a gallon of wine, red as the rivers you cried. Bad apples spoil the punch, bruises and rotten fronts. You've got a thirst you can't hide.
There's something in the water. There's something in the air. The proof is all around us. The symptoms are everywhere. There's something in the water. There's something in the air. The proof is all around us. The symptoms are everywhere.
Might be a fault of design, a bark as bad as its bite. Fooled by a flash of teeth, sharp tongues that lie beneath, words that will eat you alive.
There's something in the water. There's something in the air. The proof is all around us. The symptoms are everywhere. There's something in the water. There's something in the air. The proof is all around us. The symptoms are everywhere. Symptoms surrounding me, bounded by what we feel. There's something in the water. There's something in the air. There's something in the water. There's something in the air. The proof is all around us. The symptoms are everywhere. There's something in the water. There's something in the air. The proof is all around us. The symptoms are everywhere. The symptoms are everywhere. Symptoms surrounding me, bounded by what we feel. Symptoms are everywhere.
I don't envy our salvation, I don't envy our success. I've been cast with all the power, but I don't smile like the rest. I don't wanna live forever, I don't wanna die today. But I was born into this strange skin, and I don't know another way. I wish I was white as the ghost of the old me. I wish I was gray as the David, no tomorrow, not for joy and not for sorrow, 'cause the needful is to follow. Mad at him, no today and no tomorrow, not for joy and not for sorrow, 'cause the needful is to follow. Mad at him. Send your thanks and send your blame to all who give and take away. Send your thanks and send your blame to all who give and take away. No today and no tomorrow, not for joy and not for sorrow, 'cause the needful is to follow. Mad at him, no today and no tomorrow, not for joy and not for sorrow, 'cause the needful is to follow. Mad at him, no today and no tomorrow, not for joy and not for sorrow, 'cause the needful is to follow. Mad at him.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Creative Chaos. Thank you to the 7 people. I saw we were at 10 for the opening band. Now I'm a little offended. We have only 7 people as soon as my face comes on camera. So you guys, we're doing things a little bit differently, I think, moving forward. And this was funny, George Washington, that you said, what? No opening band? Because I'm actually toying around with maybe not having house bands anymore. But if you guys really like them, let me know. We'll keep them. A little housekeeping here. We have moved over to StreamYard. We were using a different service to stream. So things are a little bit different, but it's cool because I get to pop up chats, while we're all hanging out backstage, waiting to come live. So I like that, definitely. So welcome to Creative Chaos. I think everybody here knows that Creative Chaos is a show dedicated to shining a spotlight on fascinating people creating fantastic things outside the mainstream. And our guest tonight is super duper cool. And I actually went and streamed with him, maybe about a month ago and had a great time. But what's super fun about this tonight is our guest. We're popping his live stream Sherry tonight. He has never been on another live stream, so that is going to be fun. Feel free in the chat, George Washington. Feel free in the chat, you guys, to give him lots of encouragement. No making fun of our guest tonight. Just kidding. We can make fun of him. I think he's a cool guy. But George, yes, okay. I got 1 vote for keeping the bands. I think maybe we will do that because I like it too. I like featuring different bands. So our opening band tonight was Black Light District Studios, and that's Jesse Blaze Snyder. For anybody that doesn't know who he is, I couldn't tell you which number of Creative Chaos he's on, but you can check all of our channels that we stream to, and he's there maybe about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and it's a great long interview, and he's a talker and has tons of fascinating stories to tell you. So if you want to go back and check him out and see who he is, he's been on Creative Chaos. All right. I am not sure if Batman is here yet. I do see him. So let's bring in my sidekick, Batman. Hi, Batman.
Hi, everybody.
You made it.
I made it.
You made it. Go ahead.
It wasn't for lack of trying. I mean, all of a sudden, I'm like, I don't have a link. And then I look at my text, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I think I forgot to send you the link. I'm like, yeah, you did. Damn it. Click.
Because our wonderful and favorite producer in the whole world reminded me. He said, if you didn't send Batman the link, or Bruce, because I'm the only one that calls you Batman. Like you're the only one that calls me Christy Mack. I like it. We have special nicknames for each other. Oh, you muted, bro. Yeah.
I'm muted? No, I'm not.
Oh, no.
Can you hear?
No, you left the stage for some reason. Anyway, you're back.
I'm here. I think Cosmic's in the background pushing buttons on me.
I think so. We didn't know, but he might be a little passive aggressive.
No, not Cosmic. If he's got a problem with you, he tells it to your face.
He's aggressive. Hey, I wanted to tell you before we get into the Flip City pitch. This is my first taste of the beer I brewed a month ago. Yeah, so
And how does it
and
taste?
it's all right. It's all right. It's not fantastic. We're having actually a little bit of a problem with our keg holding gas, so it's not as carbonated as I would like it, but there are bubbles in there, and it's a brown, and I like my browns.
Yep, and as I like my stouts, nice and dark and rich and bold and flavorful. So, okay, so if your keg is not holding gas, you have to get the patch and patch it up. Can you figure out where it's leaking from?
Yeah, I think Scott's been the one that's like kind of putting it all together. So when I gassed it up, it seems like it's coming where the connector where the gas goes in is a little loose or something. So that's the problem. But listen, it still has alcohol in it. Okay.
There you go.
That's the important part.
It may be flat, but it does have alcohol.
Yeah. Hey, and also you just zoomed up from Florida and you're back in New York, right? Yeah, I can tell.
What a trip. Oh my God, it was a nightmare. Like anything and everything that could go wrong did go wrong on the routine home. We were supposed to leave on Monday and we were coming back. Bruce is on his cell phone again. LOL. Snap, crackle, pop. Okay. I got you, Cosmic. When we break, I'll run and go get my laptop. But I still haven't finished unpacking.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Movies America. What's up, guys?
Movies America popping in over on the Rumble.
Howdy, howdy.
Yeah. And hello to Levi as well. Thanks for
and hello to George Washington. I didn't see him out there, but you said hi to him, so I know he's out there.
Yes, and he
my one and only fan.
Bands.
My one and only fan here on Creative Chaos.
Oh, please. Everybody loves you. The show would not be the same without you and everything that you bring to the show. So I'm glad you're back. Are you ready to pitch with me?
I think I am, but before we pitch, I have to just say something.
Okay.
If you're out there listening in Foxhole Land, in Rumble, in DLive, in whatever streaming platform you catch us on, hit the bell, ring the bell, thumbs up, like, subscribe, and enjoy the show.
Oh, also, I forgot to, because we're in this new studio, popping up all the chats, I forgot to say what is up to Ghost Pepper over on Pilt. He checked in.
What's up, Ghost Pepper?
And our wonderful host type of, I don't know, affiliate thing, Madness Comic Network raided us over on Pilt. So we got a raid from Madness Comic Network, and of course are also streaming to Madness Comic Network on YouTube
Howdy,
and
Pops.
Rumble, I believe.
Howdy, Pops. What's up?
All right, cool. I'm sorry. Did you already, you told people to like, share, subscribe, all that. You did your job.
Like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, and ring that bell.
All right, fantastic. I'm getting weird notifications on StreamYard. Now I'm all ADD. You guys, I'm also feeling a little sassy tonight. But that's neither here nor there, and I digress because we like digressing around here. Creative Chaos was created by and for Flip City Magazine. We like to entertain you so that we can sell you our magazine, which also entertains you. And I just kind of wanted to lift up the 2 Christmas editions that we have. Those are, no, actually only one. Volume 15 is still for sale at flipcitymag.com. PUREBLOOD.com, and in there you're going to get a Christmas songbook and a Weird Al parody. Remember that movie Weird? Well, we did Weirder. So it's a parody of a parody of a parody. I mean, talk about getting meta. So we've got that. If you have comedy fans in your life, this is a fantastic gift. A subscription to Flip City is a fantastic gift to give them because it is a gift that keeps on giving laughs all year long. And you can find that at flipcitymag.com. They should go, huh, Batman?
Yes, they should. I got to tell you, it's some of my favorite bathroom reading material.
Listen, I tell people to keep it in their bathrooms, and anytime I do, if Pops Van Zant's around, he yells at me and says, "No poop flakes on Flip City." And I'm like, dude, we're a shit rag. We're a shit rag, and we're not ashamed to admit it. So he disagrees. He disagrees where you keep yours. All right. I think it's time to bring in our guest. I'm super excited because Kurt Parker is our guest tonight, and we are popping his live stream cherry. And I think we're going to have a really, really good time. And I'm going to give a little description here of who he is, and then we're going to watch a trailer. So he's an independent writer and illustrator and creator of the graphic novel series Between Demons and Angels. His Twitter profile says he's a pure blood, one of my favorite types of people. And but back to his book. A group of angelic warriors are walking the earth searching for demonic agents hidden within the corrupt ruling elite. That sounds pretty good. Let's watch the trailer.
It's
Are you an angel?
I heard your prayers, Sarah.
I think the church's prayers have gone unanswered.
God stopped listening to us a long time ago.
What's up, Kurt J. Parker?
Good to see you again.
What's the J stand for?
Jonathan.
Oh wow! Now we fully doxed you. You
Yeah.
could have said anything.
Yeah. I'm not with it yet tonight. I'm warming up.
Well, hail and thank you for being here. Real quick, I just needed to check in with chat and say hello
Cool.
to Raul and T. Welcome to Creative Chaos. Thanks for being here. And so, Kurt, I'm so happy that you're here. You're already doing a fantastic job. You made it into the studio, and now you're here live.
Yep. Step at a time. I totally appreciate this. Like I said, forgive me if
I'm a little off or nervous because I'm used to my show, you know, and you can do whatever the fuck you want. You know, if I want to be like, fuck it. But
You
here, you know what?
You didn't ask. You didn't
What?
ask if you could say fuck.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
We do the same thing.
Hey.
You can unleash any word you want.
I'll try to be cool. I love the
Mostly
warning, the warning about the snowflakes and the offensive and stuff. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, I'm cool. I'll be all right. So.
Well, you remember how we were on your show? I kept you streaming for like 3 hours.
Like 3.5, I think. Yeah, but it was good time. Good time. Good times.
It was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. I got to bring this one up. So George Washington says you're nervous now. Wait until we shove you into Conspiracy Corner.
Yeah.
But you heard me say he's a pureblood. He's going to be cool in Conspiracy Corner.
I'll be cool. I just hope I don't have technical difficulties right before then. That'd be unfortunate.
Are you threatening me?
No.
Hey,
no.
Hey, Kurt. There is a fun little segment that we like to do at the beginning of the show, and it's actually Batman segment. Let's roll into that because it's how we like to get to know our guests.
Perfect. Wow.
And we gotta wait for the stinger.
I forgot. Hi, Kurt. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Bruce.
So we're going to ask you a series of rapid fire questions.
Right.
Some really quick and easy ones. And we don't want you really to think about it. We don't want you to put too much thought into it. We want your first answer. We want you just off top of your head. Okay. And so we're going to have you fanboy for us. As a fan favorite, who is your favorite artist? And it can be any medium. So what is your favorite artist? Who is your favorite artist?
Larry Elmore.
One more time?
Larry Elmore. Never heard of him, have you? Yeah, Larry Elmore.
Never heard of Larry Elmore. What is Larry Elmore? Go ahead.
Larry Elmore is a famous fantasy artist who paints, and he worked for decades, and still works for decades for TSR, Dungeons and Dragons, and all that stuff. That's how he got his start, like before I was born.
Oh wow! So you're talking about like the covers of the boxes and the artwork inside their books and all that for D&D?
Yeah.
Okay. I do know who that is then. I do know who that is. I actually met him at a comic show here in New York years back.
Okay.
So that's really cool. Yeah. I used to do another show called Nerds in a Bar way back in the day. And so we used to interview people in the industry. So that's really cool. Very cool.
In the beginning, real quick, there was 4 main artists. Larry Elmore was one of the 4. This was like back in the 80s and 90s. But Larry Elmore is like a dwarf. He loves dwarves. Because he lives in Kentucky, in the mountains of Kentucky. And he's like this short, stocky guy with, a gray beard. He's cool. I've met him a couple times. I love him. But his style, it inspired my style. So, yeah, not many people have heard of him outside of that, but he's great.
And he works specifically for TSR.
He still does, as far as I know, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great. Very cool. All right, moving along. What is your favorite movie?
Star Wars, the original.
Original. All right, a 77 fan. Good for you.
Yeah.
Your favorite food?
Seafood.
All right. Your favorite drink, alcoholic or non-alcoholic? It doesn't matter.
Captain and Coke.
Okay. Favorite character, any medium, any kind?
Oh, man. The first one off the top of my head, I don't know if he's my favorite, but I just think of Snake Plissken from Escape from New York.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Very cool. And your favorite band?
Iron Maiden.
I got that from the trailer. I gotta tell you, I saw Eddie right away. I'm like, oh, this guy's an Iron Maiden fan.
Yeah. Yep.
Very good. Well, that concludes our segment on fanboy for us. So it gives us a little bit of background about your flavors, your tastes, your likes, and let's get on with the show. Let's go on to the next segment, Christy.
All right. So, well, there's not a segment. Now finally we get to talk about about Kurt's project, Angels and Demons. Something that I noticed, because I don't know much about your project. I just saw, what you posted for your first campaign over on Fun Comic, which funded at, hold on, I got that information here, $1,295. So you had a nice, successful campaign over there. And now you're running volume 2. I had to ask, you listed on the cover that explicit content warning. Was that like a flex?
No, it's a warning. Real quick, this is volume 2, the sequel to volume 1. Let's talk movie ratings. That's I think most people understand movie ratings. Rated G, PG, PG-13, NC-17, RX, etc. The first book, volume 1, the first campaign, that would definitely be an NC-17. I mean, like hardcore NC-17. There's a lot of crazy shit in that first book. This volume 2 now is toned down some. I would say it's like an R-rated film, maybe even a soft R-rated film. It's really not that bad compared to the first one. But I still have to have the explicit warning content out because of basically a lot of profanity. I love cussing. I mean, fuck is my favorite word. It always has been. So fuck's in there quite a bit. And I like the blood and the gore and shit. And if you've seen any of the artwork, there's a couple of I'm teasing little battle scenes. Bruce has got a cool setup. Holy shit. And I haven't shown. Obviously, you don't want to show too much. It's a 48-page book, so you want to save some of the good shit for the reader when they get the book. But I would say it's mostly like profanity and violence is this current one. So people shouldn't be afraid to check it out.
Yeah, don't be afraid. And I did just drop the link to the campaign in the chat. So anybody that wants to check those out, you can just click the link, right click, and then open it in a new tab so you guys can still stick around for Creative Chaos. And okay, cool. Why don't you tell people, give the elevator pitch that you've had to develop to sell your book?
Man, well, you did a good job on the log line, the group of Angelic Warriors, et cetera, et cetera. That's the simplest way to explain it. A little more complex is anyone who's into role-playing Dungeons and Dragons and that stuff, they would love it because that's the initial idea, the initial seed that was planted in my head it was in 2007. I got the idea, 2007. And then I started actually getting serious with it and writing and figuring it out in 2012. And I've been doing that shit ever since. So it's been a while. It's complicated.
When I don't have this noted, when did you launch your volume 1 and how long were you developing before you decided to launch a campaign?
So again, I started just writing, figuring it out. Like, okay, what the hell do I want to do? Because when you're a writer and a creator and you're dealing with a world, there's endless stories endless shit you can write about, especially when you're dealing with angels, demons, and people caught in between them. And that's literally the time between demons and angels. It's actually about the people caught in between. And so, where do you start? So I had to figure out, okay, who's the main characters? Who am I going to talk about? And all this stuff. And that was like I said, I started that in 2012. I wrote it and figured out, world building and character design for like 2 years. And the campaign, the volume 1 campaign, I launched on Fund My Comic end of August. I think end of August. So a little more than a year ago. And that campaign, the book was finished. See, I've done this shit all backwards, man. All backwards. I swear to God, it's like story of my fucking life. I'm like, I got a finished book. Cool. Now what do I do with it? Because the book was finished like 5-6 years ago. And I'm like, well, now what? So I literally went to, Etsy. During the pandemic, I'm like, well, I'll try Etsy. You know what I mean? I
Uh-huh.
actually sold a few. I had 25, 30 books I sold on Etsy.
That's not bad,
I
actually.
mean, you know, for Etsy, I guess. But I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I didn't even know anything about crowdfunding at all until about, 3-4 years ago. And then I started, okay, everyone's crowdfunding comics and shit. But again, mine was done. And what they do in crowdfunding, comics and shit, is it's an idea. We're working on it, and here's a group of people. We've come together. And so, over a year's time, we'll finish the book and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, fuck, it's not me. One, I'm alone, and two, my book's done. So how does this work? So I just said, okay, well, you know what? I'll crowdfund it and see what happens. And it did all right for me, but because again, I'm working on this alone, so I don't have to rely on writers, whoever, artists, et cetera, et cetera.
That is a bonus for people out there in the indie scene that know how to write and illustrate.
It's a double-edged sword.
Well, why would you say that?
Oh man. Well, I found out the hard everything. Like I said, I went in this like a fucking deer in headlights. Like, ooh, here's my book, And yeah, it's great when I'm the boss. I mean, that's it, man. I don't have to worry about anyone having a problem with anything. There's too much nudity. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? It's like I'm the boss. I decide what the fuck is in it, what's not in it. I'm my own editor. You can't edit your own book. Yes, you do. You know how you fucking do it? Whatever the fuck you write, draw, whatever. You put it away for a couple weeks, 3 weeks, and then you look at it again. And I guarantee you're going to see something wrong. I'm like, son of a bitch, I missed this. Or this sounds stupid, or this is way too melodramatic. I got to rewrite this. You know what I mean? So you can edit your own work, and that's all you do is you put it away. Forget about it. Come back, revisit it 3 times. So all this shit I'm doing myself. So the good news is it's just me. I don't have to worry about any sort of creative conflict or splitting up funds or reliability. Oh shit,
that's a
big one because I've seen people, all the human, it's natural, my wife's pregnant or something, or I'm pregnant, or I'm in a car accident, or my dog ran away, whatever the fuck it is. It's like I don't have to worry about that. It's just me. However, the bad side is the toughest part about crowdfunding comics and everything. The biggest challenge is the promotion. So now I'm like, uh-oh, did I lose you? Or did you lose me?
I am so sorry. I had to speak off screen and I didn't want to interrupt your flow.
I talked so much. You're like, screw this, show's over.
I'm like, I'm out of here. Kurt's embarrassing me, everybody.
He cusses too much. So anyways, no, the problem is the promotion, because when you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people on one project, you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people to promote it, to tweet it, and different YouTube channels. So it's fucking everywhere, right? When you got one dumbass like me, I'm like, here's my book, here's my channel. You know what I mean? So you don't get seen much. I'm like, I call myself a ghost. I'm like, I'm a fucking ghost because no one knows who I am and what I do because I'm the only one promoting it. It's like, that's the bad side. So what do you do?
Yeah. Hey, that's the thing too. You said you did it backwards. People crowdfund in so many different ways.
They do.
So many people that do have finished books still crowdfunding and doing second and third chance crowdfunding and everything like that. So I actually have a friend who's going to join me. He might slide in. Cool. I'm not sure. I don't know. You can be on camera. Okay, cool.
Sliding.
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to steal your thunder, Kurt, but I did want to I offered my friend to come in because he's a good friend that has been helping Flip City. Yeah, if you can scoot over a little too. Who's been helping Flip City for a couple of years. So
just a big fan.
Yeah.
Hey, more the merrier, man. I can bring on more people for all I care. That's cool.
Cool.
He's probably the biggest fan that rarely reads the book.
I peruse it. I'm not a comic reader like from front to back, so I just take it in pieces. I always take it in pieces.
Good. I'm glad I lifted the camera a little bit because you're tall. Anyway, let's go. Let's get back to Kurt. I just wanted to introduce you.
Cool.
Do you want to say your
Sure.
name or anything like that?
Well, Max.
Max. What's up, Max? Good name. That's a good name.
I didn't know if how anonymous he wanted to stay.
Max.
There are a lot of Maxes, and it's a very popular dog name. So yeah, that's about as anonymous as you get, other than maybe
Yeah,
Tom
that's
Smith.
all right. It's a good name.
So yeah, anybody in the
Appreciate
chat that wants to say hi to Max, feel free. I'll pop it up on screen. Anyway, so in your crowdfunding adventure, did it surprise you? Were you expecting more with volume 1, or like how did that kind of come about? Were you expecting anything?
Again, not only have I done everything backwards, but when I started working on this 12 years ago, I'm like, I'm going to have like no audience for this, because it's like heavy religion right there. You're going to lose half the fucking people. I don't want to hear about, church and God and religion and all this. And it's not Christianity. It's based on it, because it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy world. You know what I mean? It's not historical fiction. It's based on Christianity.
Right, and you didn't market it as this is a Christian comic book.
No, because I'm not a Christian technically. Technically, I am literally between demons and angels. You know what I mean? I had to. There's a Bible behind me. I had to study the Bible and read it, and Genesis and Revelations those are the best parts. The beginning and the end of the Bible is the best, man. All the shit in the middle is like, oh Christ. But I had to study the Bible, but I also ordered the other Bible. You know what I'm talking about? The Satanic Bible. I had to study that too. And I studied demonology, and I had to study angelology, which is the study of angels. I had to do all this studying and shit. And so right there, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a turnoff to some people. Then I'm going to have it be adult content. Okay, so I'm going to lose any kids or parents with kids or any of that shit. Basically, I'm like cutting it down. So I'm like, maybe about 1% of the people might be fucking interested in this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, well, I love this story. It's been with me for a long time. And I searched and searched and searched and searched for like weeks before, like before I did shit. The first thing I did, and there are other big people that I won't mention who didn't do this, but it's copywriting the title, right? There was a lot of drama a little while back about a really big independent individual who didn't copyright the title, and a place sued him or tried to sue him or whatever the fuck happened. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. I remember. Right. I was like going through the Rolodex in my head. I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember that happening. Though I didn't look too far into the story.
I watched everything from a distance. All the drama I watched from a distance. So I know all the shit, but I'm not like involved, but I know what the hell's going on. So anyways, the first thing I did 12 years ago was copyright. Make sure there wasn't Between Demons and Angels anywhere in movies, TV, books, cartoon strips, and a newspaper, nothing, right? And there wasn't. So I'm like, bam. So we copyright, sent to DC, got Between Demons and Angels copywritten. That's mine. Okay, cool. Now let's continue. So I'm like, okay, well, this is, there's nothing like it. And I'm not bragging, saying, oh, this is the most original thing. No, I'm saying, honestly, I'd say this is one of the most original. And I started to research. I needed help. I needed guidance. Like, there's got to be some movie or book, a novel that deals with a group of, angelic warriors and a group of demons coming together and fighting, and all this shit. There's nothing. And I scoured the internet and everything, libraries and shit. I couldn't find anything. There's a lot of stuff like manga, but it's like, a high school kid and he's a demon actually, and, shit like that. But I'm like, there's nothing epic where you have this like army of angels and an army of demons fighting each other, and all the hierarchy from the low to the high and all this shit, this war. I mean, even technically in the Bible, like they talk about the war in heaven, but they don't explain it. I mean, here's your chance, man. Who Archangel Michael, does he kick Asmodeus' ass or Beelzebub? You have all these epic, heroic, and awesome villains, and no one's like put them together. Like, what's the movie everyone loves? The superhero movie with all it just came out. I don't watch that shit, but
that's for Bruce.
The Avengers.
Yes. You know what I'm talking about, man. The group of heroes and the group of villains, and they clash, and it's epic, and fucking main characters are dying and shit. Okay, it's basically the same thing, man, except it's angels and demons. That's all it is. But angels and demons are so unique. There's so many. I'm not suggesting, hey, start checking out demonology at 3 a.m, because it was kind of scary. But there's a whole array of demons. I mean, it's crazy. And the same with the angels. You know what I mean? So these are, like, in a sense, kind of superheroes, good and evil. And I'm like, why don't they fight, man? And then you start thinking, okay, if they fought on Earth, what the fuck happens to all of us? Could you imagine if you're like, I don't know, sitting in a tavern having a beer, and all of a sudden the horizon is like lit. You're like, the fuck is going on? You see these fucking things flying, and then everything starts burning, and there's explosions. You'd be like, holy shit, you know what I mean? And you're like, we're gonna fucking die, you know what I mean? But then the angels are like, no, we're here to save you. And the demons are like, no, we want your soul. You see how this can go on and on and on and on, right?
Yeah.
That's where I was like 12 years ago. I'm like, okay, well, I gotta, streamline this to certain characters so I don't lose the audience, because it's like a big piece to bite into at first. So the first volume 1 is 80 pages, and it is literally just setting the stage, man. It's introducing some characters, and it's just setting the stage. There's like not a battle in it. There's events that happen, which are that's the graphicness of it, because I have to show how demons actually operate, because I had to read about it. I read about the corruption of the church over the ages, and satanic rituals, and the children, and the blood drinking, and all the bullshit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, if you're gonna tell the story, man, I'm not pulling punches. Here's the shit. And so that's volume 1. Volume 2 starts to actually get more. Now the stories are moving. The angels are here. They've arrived. What are they doing? Well, they have to find these demons, and they have to hunt them down and kill them, along with the demonic agents. And demonic agents is simply, any person who works for them, who has sold their soul to them, or worships them, or whatever. And so there's a lot of killing, a lot of battles coming. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, so let me ask you this: in the development of the story, because of everything you did read, and good on you for doing a ton of research, to prepare your world. I'm assuming your plan is to go on and on, but while you're doing all this research and learning more about Satanism, and like you had said, the blood drinking and all that kind of stuff, did you find yourself becoming more of like a conspiracy theorist, or did you already kind of know of these themes before?
I've been one all my life, man. I mean, okay. I was a conspiracy theorist before the term conspiracy theorist was mainstream.
No,
you know what I mean?
No,
I listened to Coast to Coast. Shit, I started listening to Coast to Coast AM in 2000 when I lived in Vegas. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
And all that, basically anything supernatural, from UFOs to aliens to Bigfoot to shadow people to JFK assassination, any of that shit, man. I'm like, I'll take it all. I want it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I around like I said, it was around this 2012 time when I started to notice on like Coast to Coast and just here, like social media, all this exorcisms and little things about demonic this and this kind of topics. And I'm like, there's something going on kind of behind the scenes, maybe, And so the more I started to research and then write and create, and then as time goes on, and now we're at 2016, everyone knows what that was like. And then we're at 2020, everyone knows what that was fucking like. And all this shit coming out now, My fucking fiction, you're reading headlines half the time.
Right, exactly.
geez,
Well, reading the description that you have on your Fund My Comic, I'm like, oh, so kind of like reality.
there's a comic book reviewer website on Twitter called Bleeding Fool. You ever heard of it? Does anyone know about Bleeding Fool? Okay, that's it. Because like, oh, when you you have your campaign, you're like, make sure to submit to Bleeding Fool. So you tell Bleeding Fool, hey, this is me, and here's my new book, and then they post a tweet about it. They interview you, just on whatever social media, and they answer all these questions. You answer all these questions, and then they come out with like their interview. They post the interview, and in the interview they said exactly that. I was like, oh, it's Angelic Warriors, blah 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 blah, and Bleeding Fool was like, oh, so in other words, it's based on reality, right? You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah. It's like it's a fantasy, but I say it's just Orwellian because I thought Animal Farm was so fucking cool. It's like you take this heavy political bullshit topic, and you make it into animals and pigs on a farm, and so it's there, but you gotta kind of see through it. And so I said I gotta do the same thing, because if I approach this as like as a historical, I'm gonna get bored with it eventually. So I'm like, okay, let's throw magic and fucking monsters in this. Why not? Because if you have like demons and shit, well, maybe there's dragons too. And maybe the demons have fucked the dragons and bred a demon dragon hybrid. You know what I mean? Which they have. And so it's just fucking endless, man. It just goes, I'm like, what don't I put in here? You know what I'm saying? And so that's the thing is, you can't put everything in there because you'll lose everybody. So you have to streamline it and say, okay, what's the most important things to the story you're trying to tell? And that's kind of where I am. So,
yeah. And so what is your plan for the whole series? Because, I mean, obviously you're very deep into your world building and everything, but you're on book 2. So,
right.
I mean, do you have a natural stopping point in mind? Or are you just going to go and go? What's your plan?
Well, fortunately, during the research, I actually accidentally wound up selling my soul to the devil. So I'm going to live for about another 100 years. So over the next 100 years, I'm kidding, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just.
And I am clutching my pearls.
Sorry, man. If I offend anyone, I apologize. But fuck off. But I'm just gonna work on this as long as I can, And if I die in the process, I die in the process. But I have I'm already working on a smaller campaign I'm going to launch in the spring, which is like a prequel to volume 2 right now. It's called a supplemental. It's a 16-page prequel about certain characters in volume 2. And then I've already written volume 3. That's like all written out and stuff. And then the one after it. So yeah, I could do this. It could go on and on and on and on. It's just a matter of like, is there an interest, And fortunately, I don't need 1,000 people. I don't even need 100 people. It's like if I have like,
nice.
And I'm not saying it would suck. Like, oh no, I don't want that. I'm just saying it's not required. I can do 10, 20 people and I'm fine. You know what I mean? It's like, that's cool. So I'm not like greedy. This isn't about money. My brother jokes about, he's like, oh, you sound like the Joker in Batman, where it's not about money, it's about sending a message. I said, yeah, kind of. However, I wouldn't burn the fucking money behind me. You know what I mean? I'd be like, it's about the message, but the money's helpful too. So it'll help push the message. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. The message is important, but I am practical and realistic enough to realize, okay, well, you need money to do this, but I don't need a ton. So even though to other people, this funding is like, oh, you didn't fund shit. You don't have that many backers. Well, I don't need it because I'm low maintenance. I can do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. And you know what? This probably is going to segue perfectly into our first segment, which is mansplain. But before we go over there, Max, do you have any specific questions about his project or Batman?
No, I mean, I've got a pretty good idea of it, having had a chance to enjoy this process. I'm not being able to see what goes on behind the screen is kind of cool.
Okay.
And I just absolutely interested in your progression, and you came into your project with some research, and I'm imagining some discovery out of that, or some conclusions or pseudo conclusions, potential conclusions, and you're going to kind of draw those themes in, or you have drawn those themes into your project.
Yeah, big time.
Anticipating.
Yep. Yeah. Anyone who's familiar with anything close to, you know, the whole Christianity war versus Satan and God and devil, they're gonna see. I basically take quotes from the Bible and I reword them, kind of like simplify them, and there'll be like the final page is a really good biblical quote about whatever death or something. Except I just kind of reword it, one to kind of, I don't know. I don't want it to be too religious, but it is religious. It's the angels and everything are based on Christianity, but I never will use the word Christian or Jesus or Bible or all of those keywords that describe religion and Christianity are not going to be in this book. I basically rename stuff, you know. But yeah, the research is definitely, yes, little by little, you're going to see research, and you're going to see topics. I don't want to say political, more world topics that we've seen in the news in the last 10 years, I'd say. Those will contribute to the story, certain things. So again, it's if you're aware of what's going on in the world today in the last few years, all this shit's going to make sense. It's just told in a different setting. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Like Orwell's Animal Farm. It's like, instead of a farm with pigs and shit, no, it's a world where there's, you know, armor and weapons and magic and horses and shit. That's all it is.
Right. All right.
So I do have some questions real quick if I chime in. Kurt, you're talking about angels and demons as your core theme, and I'm wondering if you've done any research and readings of the DC comic book Vertigo line, The Preacher, Good Omens. What was the other one I was just thinking about?
Darkness. I have
Darkness.
Preacher and Darkness. I have a couple issues of Darkness and a couple issues of Preacher. And one of my favorite comics is, I forget the issue, but it's Darkness, where he battles the three what are they called? The three women. Oh man, damn it, I forget. Evangeline, or I forget. They're like three religious sisters from the church, but they're warriors, you know, they're hot chicks in armor and swords and shit. And the Darkness like fights them in the church. I mean, it's just my kind of shit. And that's from the 90s. And that probably was the connection to, well, why don't I try this in like comic book form? You know what I mean? Because I was always like a novelist, like, oh, I'm going to type a 300, 400 page book and throw some pictures in there or whatever. You know what I mean? And then it was the 90s, man, with Spawn and the Darkness and all that shit, where it's like, wait a minute, comics aren't Richie Rich and Archie and shit anymore. You got blood and sex and fucking nudity and all sorts of fucked up shit. I mean, Spawn, hello. Anyone who knows anything about Spawn is like, yeah, that's pretty fucking dark. You know what I mean? And just the whole style was different. I mean, literally the blacks, how much black ink, black and every fucking, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I could do this. This is my kind of shit. You know what I mean? That's what kind of, I think, saved the whole comic industry, was the 90s, was that it was like a renaissance. It was like suddenly comics weren't for kids anymore. You see what I'm saying? Now it's dark and for adults. And I'm like, sign me the fuck up. You know what I mean? So that's where this comes from. And again, I think it saved the whole industry. I'm no expert at all.
No, I would agree with you. I think, you know, not that Todd McFarlane single-handedly did it, but I think a group of these rogue artists that were tired of the grind for DC and Marvel decided to go out on their own and become Image Comics. Right. And so you have Savage Dragon, and you have all these Jim Shooter and Valiant Comics and all of that stuff that they put out. Yeah, absolutely. The 90s were an era of tumultuous and virtuous battle back and forth between the comic book companies, the independent industry, and the mainstream industry, and people getting tired of mainstream. And I think you're right, because I started following comic books like Faust and Omaha the Cat Dancer, or you know, those types of books. So yeah, absolutely. And Preacher was up there with those books as well.
Yeah.
So that whole good versus evil thing, just on a much more ominous. Well, I don't know the term I'm looking for here. You know, a more holier than thou type of experience. And you know, like, was it Lucifer Morningstar? You know, Lucifer, the TV show.
Yeah,
you know, things like that. Things like that are based off of comic books. It's like right up your alley. So I appreciate that you've taking it directly to the angels and demons and the people who get caught in the middle. That's kind of like what you're saying, and I appreciate that. So thank you.
Cool. You're welcome. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Yes, we appreciate it. And let's go ahead and head into Mansplain, because I got to give you a platform.
Sure.
You see, when someone lacks the brain power to thoughtfully navigate their way through a subject or idea, they need it to be explained to them, preferably by a man.
I like it. I like it already.
Well, I created the Mansplain segment because it seems to be, and I don't do this on purpose, but most of my guests happen to be white and male. Which is basically the enemy of the people, and I think usually straight as well, or at least close to it.
Yeah.
Though I won't guess your gender or your identity. I mean, that's rude,
guy,
right?
Believe me.
Yeah.
Lots of people can confirm that.
Well, I was thinking it might be interesting to have you mansplain to me and the entire audience because you kind of did the crowdfunding thing. In what you described as a backwards way. So if you were to do it over, you know, what would you have done, or what advice would you give to somebody in your same situation where you're an artist and a writer creating, you know, a story that you wanted to do?
I would say if you're unfortunate enough to be like me, who's like an artist and a writer and all the other bullshit, you know, combined, find another one or two other creators, whether it's an editor or another writer or a couple other creators, so that now you got like three amigos. There's three of you, and then do your crowdfunding project, because now there's three people to promote it, and there's three people to tweet, and maybe you all three have YouTube channels, so you can all bounce around each other's channel all the time and just circulate. You know what I mean? That will bring in 3 times as many people as one guy's bringing in, like me. So that's how I would do it over again. But the one thing that I have a guilty conscience, unfortunately, it's probably a saving grace for me. But I you know, I'm not, no offense to any comic indie creator, and I don't like books that are really late. I mean, I get a few months, 6 months, you know, a year top. But there's a lot of talk and a lot of drama and a lot of bullshit that everyone's seen about really late books, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. But I don't ever want to do that myself personally. They can fucking do it, and they're a hell of a lot more successful than I will ever be. But my guilty conscience is like, if someone I don't fucking know or even know is going to, you know, give me their money and they're expecting a story, I'm going to try to have this project done on time. If it's not done exactly on time by a month or 2 or 3, okay, well, you know, they'll live. We'll all live, okay? But if I'm at like a year or more and I haven't delivered, there's a fucking problem. That's my problem. That means bad timing, bad time management, you know what I mean? Work, whatever it is. And not, you know, if like the whole family dies, oh, okay, well, it's delayed, you know what I'm saying? But unless there's a really good excuse, man, get that shit. Try to get your stuff done. Right? So that's the one thing I tell people: just try to hit that deadline. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So basically, be mindful of your backers who are now your customers, and I'd even say, I mean, you benefit from that as well because you're going to want to keep them. You don't want them leaving you behind because you were so late. So, okay, well, wonderful advice. And I think pretty much all the viewers that usually come to Creative Chaos have been chomping the bit to get into Conspiracy Corner with you because of everything that we've previously been talking about, that you are a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
So let's go into Creative Chaos Conspiracy Corner.
I wanna live with a conspiracy girl. I could be prepping the rest of my life with a conspiracy girl.
Those weren't even.
Thank you to Dr. Clown for providing us with our Conspiracy Girl bumper music there.
Dude, that's awesome tune. Good, bravo, whoever the fuck did that. Good job, man.
That was Dr. Clown, dude. You should check him out. You'd probably really like him.
Cool.
You guys, I'm unprotected tonight. I could not find my tinfoil hat. So maybe tonight will be the night that I finally get a stream removed from YouTube. We'll see what happens. It hasn't happened before because I've had my tinfoil hat. Oh well. Maybe I didn't bring it because I didn't bring you one, because we would have had to both be protected.
Yeah, I would have felt left out.
Exactly. That's what happened. Okay. Anyway, so here's what we do. I usually give the guest a choice. If you just want to start spitting conspiracy, you can, but I do have a wheel of conspiracy. I think I'm changing the rules now because of Levi Skeen, who gets really pissed off if we don't spin the wheel. So I think we're just going to spin the wheel. So
spin.
Cause if you can bring the wheel up, I'm going to explain the rules here. That's not the wheel. That's me and Max. Hey, okay, so here's how it goes. Kurt, you actually get 3 spins.
Okay.
So if you're lukewarm or don't like the first or second topic, that's fine. You can spin again. But no matter what, you're stuck with the third one and you must speak on it. It's that simple.
Gotcha.
All right, let's do it. It landed on Bigfoot. I thought we were going to get 9/11 there for a second.
So do I go for it or no?
It's up to you. If you want to try for a better topic that you'd prefer to speak on, I mean, there's a lot of them on there.
Yeah. Damn it. Oh, man. Bigfoot's cool. Shit.
But there's a lot of cool stuff
I know.
on there.
Okay, we'll try one more. Try
one more. Let's do it. Project Mockingbird. That's a decent one, but there's a lot more. But you're stuck with the last one, no matter what it is.
I don't know much about Project Mockingbird, so I'm gonna have to take the final spin.
Right,
God, I hope it's something I know about. Shit, let's do it.
All right, watch it. It's gonna land on Angels and Demons.
That'd be great. I'd be like,
it is on there.
See the previous half hour. We're done.
All right, y'all. We landed on COVID. I mean, this can go down a ton of different paths.
How long do we have
related to COVID?
How long do we got? 2-3 hours left, or?
Yeah, well, you know.
I'm kidding.
You know, it's funny because I purposely make our last segment a segment that brings everybody back up with comedy because usually Conspiracy Corner can get a little dark. So,
yeah, that's the way to go. I love the darkness. Darkness is good. Everyone's so fucking afraid of the darkness. So why are you afraid? You know, it's like we're all gonna die. So what the hell?
It is true. We are all gonna die.
So how does this work?
Oh, so basically, we're just going to talk about COVID. So, hey, those masks suck, right?
Yeah, they were a joke. They were a joke, man. I mean, are you shitting me?
So, I just have to find out, had you ever, during the course of the year 2020, the dumpster fire that we call it, did you get sick at all?
No. But I may have been the ground zero COVID patient because I got COVID November before it became public. You know how it was like March was the shit, right? March.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody was told to hunker down as of March.
That previous Thanksgiving, November, it hit me like big time fucking hard. And I was actually visiting my brother in Virginia at the time, and he was the one that took my ass to the emergency room because we didn't know what the fuck was wrong with me. It was weird as shit. And it wasn't COVID at the time, right? But it was so weird to me because I just don't get sick. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I got hit. And it was like damn near, I mean, it felt like my brother was like, thought I was going to fucking die. I knew I wasn't going to die, but he thought I was. So when we went to the emergency room and all this shit and got they gave me a bag full of fucking meds, inhaler and fucking this and these pills and fucking this, all this shit. And I kept it all. I kept all the documentation because I'm like, this is weird. You know what I mean? So I kept all the medical information in a bag. And then a few months later, COVID hits and they start talking about symptoms and everything. And my neighbor at the time was a nurse. And so I said, hey, let me show you this medical paper. Hang on. I got it. Gave it to her. And she's reading. She's like, yep, that's COVID. I'm like, did I have fucking COVID? And she's like, hell yeah, you had COVID. I said, but it wasn't called COVID back then. It was a flu and a sinus infection and pneumonia all wrapped up in one. That's COVID. So I'm like, oh, that would suck if I was the guy that got it spread all over the fucking place.
Whoa.
You're the guy.
Virginia. It didn't start in Virginia. God knows where it started.
Where was the U.S. lab that presumably
Right.
developed the virus before they brought it over to China? It
Right.
might have been in Virginia. It's over on the eastern side somewhere.
But ironic, there's a silver lining. Everything's a double fucking edged sword. I swear to God, especially in my screwed up life. Because I got COVID basically out of the way, I was remember I was asymptomatic. I could hang out with COVID people and breathe in and be like, haha, fuck you. I'm immune to this shit. You know what I mean? And I literally
You're
was.
not a very good friend to have over making chicken noodle soup and saying fuck you.
It was you're asymptomatic. Well, you can't get COVID because you've already had it. And so it's like that whole fucking armor. I'm like, oh, cool shit. So yeah, I never bought a mask. I obviously never got the vaccine. And none of that shit, man. Because I took pictures. I remember the first when it hit me, I went to fucking Walmart, right? It was like the morning, like 10 in the morning. And I've got the pictures on my cell phone. A line of people and fucking police tape. They had police tape around all the barriers and shit at the Walmart entrance. And there's this line of people. And I'm like, the fuck, are we at war? What's going on? A zombie apocalypse? That's what's going on. And I go in the back of this line. I'm like 50 to 100 people. And this guy was there. I'm like, dude, what is going on? And he's like, that COVID thing. I'm like, really? And I'm like, and then some people had masks and some people didn't. And I'm like, do I need a mask to go into Walmart? And he was kind of like rolling his eyes like, this is a fucking joke. It's just stupid. And I'm just like, I was scared for about a week because I'm like, zombie apocalypse. Here we are. I knew it. I fucking knew it. You know what I mean? But then it just stopped. It just didn't make sense. They're like, but stay 6 feet away from each other. I'm like, what the fuck is that going to do? If it's airborne, that shit floats. And masks, it's just all this stupid shit that they started telling us to do. And I'm like, man, this doesn't feel right. And then I talked to friends of mine. And at this point, I'm living in North Carolina. Anyone who knows North Carolina, it's a God, guns, and Bible area. And it really fucking is, man. There's ever shit goes down, get your ass to North Carolina because we got more fucking guns here. Anybody, you know what I mean? They were like, dude, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. And I almost don't know anyone who got vaccinated. Everyone was like, nope, this is bullshit. I'm not doing this shit. So right off of the start, I was like, Then you start watching and information gathering, the numbers, and this many people died. Really? Well, where's the mountain of bodies? I mean, there's bodies. If there's tens of thousands of people dying every day, where are these fucking bodies? Where's the burial? Dude, it's such. I'm getting all fired up. I need to calm down. I'm sorry.
Well, how
Great
about
topic.
we laugh at it a little bit, because this Vulcan Lives,
sorry.
said don't
I
forget the
know.
plexiglass. Why don't we
Uh-huh.
come up with our top 3 most ridiculous things? One of my favorites was when the restaurants were allowed to open again. You had to wear a mask to go in the restaurant, but it was fine to take it off to eat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was ridiculous.
The worst I ever saw was that, except 10 times worse. And it was on Twitter, of course. Someone filmed a couple in a restaurant wearing masks, but the masks like opened like mouths. Do you remember that shit?
Yes.
And they're like, dude, it was it was like ugly, like creepy, like disturbing, because they looked like, it looked like it was like a doctor and his wife. It was like these, you could tell they were very well off people and intelligent. And they're wearing these masks with like a wire, and they push a button and the mask goes and opens up so they can, and it closes. I'm just like, the fuck is going on with everybody? It was just insane. It was insanity. Now, they're posting, we don't forget, and everyone kept the receipts, and they're showing all the bullshit. Okay, we'll go up to the grocery cashier, and there's this plexiglass, right? This big, but it's all open around it and to the sides and everything like that. Again, it's like, if this is airborne, it's going to go right around there. But that was good enough. No, this plexiglass will save it. Okay, whatever. So everything is so screwed up looking back on it now, man. And again, I know people died. I'm not saying no one died. Yes, people did die. It sucks. But it wasn't what they were talking about. It was people who already, like the elderly and shit, and the immune, compromised. It wasn't these healthy 25-year-olds. You know what I mean? It was, there was a certain, a certain, what do you call it?
At risk?
Population. A certain at-risk population.
It obviously wasn't as horrific as they wanted us to think it was.
Well, hold on. But getting back into the darker side, remember when they were putting COVID patients in nursing homes?
Yeah.
I swear that was to raise the mortality.
And the one thing that really,
yep, go ahead.
The one thing that really bothered me, because I looked at myself and I'm like, I would have been fucking dead. If I would have gotten COVID when everyone was getting COVID, I'd be dead, because the respirator shit. Someone gets COVID and it's so bad because it is a lung, it's a lung. So they put them on the respirator, you're dead, because that respirator takes over your breathing. And the minute you're off that respirator, you're done. So you're going to stay on a respirator forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is.
And then they saw like
what I heard.
You have to.
I heard it's just hard to get off a respirator.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, a lot of people died because of the respirator. And I don't know if you guys remember that.
High percentage fatality with the respirator, real high percentage. Once you're on it, so something like 8 out of 10 of them never survived it.
Right. And again, thank you for backing me up, because sometimes I get lost. I'm like, did I imagine this shit?
That was legit. No, that was legit. I mean, in the beginning, they went and begged for them, and a bunch of them were provided, but those things turned out to cause the lungs to fill with liquid.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And so people drowned to death. Some of them ended up drowning to death.
Yep.
It was a dark time in our history, man. It was messed up.
I think a lot of that putting people on respirators was also the fact that they were pumping them full of remdesivir, which was polluting your own lungs with your own fluids. So the remdesivir was causing your lungs to fill up with fluid, and the respirator was trying to pump the air into your lungs. So you're getting fluid and air pumped into your lungs, and you're basically drowning in your own fluids.
Okay, so potentially the combination of those things, but it was also that every patient that was put on a respirator got some $30,000-$40,000 per patient. I mean, they were paid the hospitals were paid by the government for treatments, specific treatments. Yeah, like you said, including remdesivir, which was the only allowed medication for a while.
Correct.
Once it came out,
antibodies were released because Trump used them.
Once it came out where it was all about the fucking money, That's where I really got pissed off. I'm like, of course it's about the money. Of course, if the hospital diagnoses, the person who got on a motorcycle got hit by a car and they're in the hospital and they're like, you got COVID. He's like, no, my fucking leg is backwards. I just got hit by a car. Yeah, but you have COVID symptoms. Of course they get $30,000. I'm like, you motherfuckers. I'm like, it's always about the goddamn money. Always. And the thing is, go back in history. It's the same shit, except it was gold back then or whatever. But I swear to God, this is where I'm like, man, I'm ready. Get us the fuck out. Where's the meteor? Where's the zombie apocalypse? Because it's just like human nature to just have it all about the money. And I know there's good people, like probably some of us, right? Because we haven't sold our soul for money. But the politicians, the elite, the fucking celebrities, dude, it's all about how many celebrities, they didn't take the fucking shot. They didn't take the shot. In fact, they were catching them. Remember the fake shot crap? Oh,
I do remember that
and
one.
And there's a cap on the fucking end of it. They're fucking faking it. Why? And then you find out, they got whatever paid $500,000 to promote it's such bullshit, man. It's such bull. I'm going to have to drink tonight. I almost never fucking drink, but I'm all pissed off now.
Blame the wheel.
Yeah, yes.
No,
blame the wheel, not the show.
But guys, just talking about this, doesn't it suck? It's starting to remind me of back then. And I'm like, that really sucked. That did suck. Because we didn't know what the fuck was going on. You're scared, but you're like, there's no way everything was so confusing.
Yeah, but you weren't afraid because you were immune, and that was legitimate. I mean, you had common sense. As I was sick last November, I only get sick once every 3 years or something.
Right?
Your immune system's already boosted, so
yeah.
You got to go with the mentality forward. But yeah, the fear thing was spread like mayonnaise on a good sandwich,
and so many
everywhere.
And so it was like everyone. There wasn't like one person who's like, hey, what's going on? Why is everyone acting? No, we all knew because it was, remember the fucking death counter? What was that, CNN or something?
Oh,
it had the red letters, the red death count. And you're just like, the fuck? But then once you start to see through that bullshit, you're like, you sons of bitches. You know what I mean? I almost fell for it. And I know people who did fell for it. My older relatives were terrified, and they're like, you have to get the shot. I ain't taking shit, man. You know what I mean? It sucked. It's like, God, what a crappy time. It really was.
Something that I didn't appreciate much during COVID was because I was a non-masker. I would go everywhere without a mask, but I perfected my bitch face. And that sucks because I like to smile. I'm a happy person, but out in public, I didn't wear a mask, but I guess I kind of did.
It was weird.
Because it was just bitch face. Yeah.
It was so weird. It was not, you're not supposed to do that. Human beings are not supposed to wear masks all the fucking time. And you remember how sad that was when okay, guys, this is a guy thing. There'd be the cute waitress or whatever. But she's got the fucking mask on and she's hot, but she's got this fucking mask and all this bullshit. And you're just like, this sucks. This is such a waste. You know what I mean? Everyone is so fucking terrified. We're wearing these stupid masks and everyone looks like idiots and shit. And it just it wasn't like a week or two. This went on and on and on. And then there are people now who are still wearing the fucking things. And remember the best was when someone's alone in their car with their windows up and they have a mask on.
Yes.
What is wrong with you, man? It's sheep, dude. Terror, fear. It literally... They used fear to make people do shit that was insane, illogical. There was no logic behind this, but they were so fucking scared they did it anyways.
It was the largest human experiment in the history of science. Yeah. And it was a psyop on us, and 85% of America fell for it.
You're right, Bruce.
And I can tell you, like you, I refused to wear a mask.
Good man.
I was thrown out of stores.
Ugh.
I was asked to leave stores. I said, yeah, I'll leave the store as soon as I finish purchasing what I'm here to buy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I went through Walmart. I had a kid chase me down in Walmart. Here's your mask, sir. Here's your mask. I said, I'm allergic to wearing masks. I like breathing air. Thank you. Have a nice day. And I walked away.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I had a guy come at me in a bagel store because I was the only one not wearing a mask, and everybody's in line, and they're all on the wall, hugging the wall while I'm standing there getting my bagels and cream cheese, and nobody wanted to come over to me. And then one guy comes up to me and goes, "I hope you die from COVID."
Of course.
I said, "God bless you too." I turned around and walked out the door with my bagels and my cream cheese.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, it was insane. The fucking, remember the fucking dots or squares we had to stand on? Oh, you're 6 feet apart. Let's stand on here like fucking chess pieces on a board. The fuck is wrong with you people? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, it was pure insanity. And the thing is, some of us knew, like you, Bruce, and all of us, we knew it was wrong. But you're like, you're a conspiracy theorist. You're a minority. You want my grandparents to die, you sick bastard. Now you got all these fuckers, like, you know, accusing you of all, like calling you all this shit, and you're like, the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Dude, it was weird. And it's like, thank God we got through it. And thank God the truth has come out. And so now we're like, you stupid fuckers. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck you. Here's your post of your dumbass with a plastic thing in your fucking arms through it, hugging each other, or the people who are kissing with their masks. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? I mean, that's how, thank God we're there now. Because we're like, see, we were right. We knew it. You fuckers called us murderers, conspiracy theorists, psychos, whatever the fuck it was. We knew.
Are you going to get an apology? That. No, you're not going to get an apology.
Of course not. No, of course they will never apologize.
Where's Fauci now?
Yeah. Dude, don't even get me started.
Pardon,
we got to change topics because I am seriously getting pissed off.
If you want to get current, you know, Biden, you know, of course he was going to pardon his son. That was always going to happen. It was back before the Ukraine thing. Okay, great. But right now the chatter is that there's going to be blanket pardons for people that have not been accused directly of crimes like Fauci and a few others. So just look forward to that. It might be a kind of a pardon fest for the Biden administration.
Oh, just like he did, like all those executive orders, right? When he came in office, and now it's on the outro. It's a ton of pardons.
That's what it might be. You look forward to that. Like I said, you know, Fauci, if you pardon him, will the citizens of this nation, now that we know that, you know, his malfeasance, are we going to accept it? And what will we do about it? That is
I say torches and pitchforks.
Pitchforks and
I can't say what I want to do. There's no way. Not even on this channel. I can't say what I would do. And this is where my knowledge of the satanic side would come out. I'd be like, oh, you know what? I read about something.
You know, he was fundamental, and you know, the majority of that 85% you talk about, they were actually afraid. You know, I mean, they were doing their lives. The experts said you should be afraid. The problem I had was that 10% of people that took on the deputy badge and said, I'm an enforcer, and then kept asking me every time they saw me when I was going to get vaccinated, things like that. So, yeah, I mean, we, you know, at the top, and then those people that kind of self-administered authority, I think,
actually
became a problem.
On a light note, because I'm honestly really getting pissed off. This is really bringing back bad memories. I apologize, but it's like, on a lighter note, you know, being an artist, when like that first, what was it, like the second week of March, when it was like official, you know what I mean? The first thing I thought was, I'm like, these vaccine cards, I could make duplicates, I could make fakes, I know it. And I grabbed a relative who had one, I took a fucking picture, I measured it. I mean, I'm like ready to go. I'm like, I'm looking at the fonts, I'm like, I got this font, I know what this font is, I can type it, the type of paper, the color. I'm like, just about ready to start making fake vaccine cards for people. And then it hits the news. Fake vaccine cards are being found. Basically, someone beat me to it. So I'm just like, oh, okay, never mind. I'm not going to waste my time. But a friend of mine who, anyone who knows me, they would probably know this person. I'm not going to give their name. They made fake vaccine cards and they passed them around to people, and they worked like a charm. You know why? Because it was all fucking bullshit. All these numbers on the card were like, oh, we have to scan your card. It's like, well, the numbers, they're not going anywhere. There's no list. It was all bullshit, right? And this individual who made the vaccine cards is in a profession, and how do I say it? One of the professions that was pumping the bullshit, pumping the lies. This organization, this type of workplace was known to be pushing it. So if this guy who worked with them, if his card worked, that shows you it was bullshit. Because if they were legit, they would have been like, sir, this is a fake. No number came up when we scanned it. You know what I mean? And he would have lost his job, and God knows, they crucified him out back or something like that. He got through without a problem. That shows it was bullshit. So, yeah. Good for those people that made the fake cards.
It was a conformity test as well as
Yes.
a big financial grift. And let's see how much of the American populace we can subdue.
We can control like zombies, like little drones, and say, yes, we'll eat the bugs. And yes, I'll live in a fucking little pit,
Pod.
pod.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like, it's all true.
Soylent
We're seeing it
Green.
now. It's true. This is what the fuck they want, man. And so
do you
it's so
think
nice.
they failed, or did they succeed in this particular test? Because
fuck
I'm
it.
rating them a failure at the moment.
They failed. Trump
No,
won. Hello?
No, wait. The test was a success as far as they're concerned because they were able to get people to follow the letter of their laws or their mandates. There were a handful of us, like us right here, and some other people I know, who said, this logically doesn't make any sense, okay?
Right.
Fauci goes out onto a baseball diamond and throws out the first pitch and then sits in the stands eating a hot dog without a mask on. Give me a fucking break.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Really
those things too, where Nancy Pelosi got her hair cut, Gavin Newsom went out and to a fancy restaurant with a giant group of people. God, they loved shoving it in our faces. You know it.
I still
Dude, this brings back such bad memories. Such bad memories. It really does. It sucks.
Amusing in retrospect, or absolutely terrible?
No,
with a little modicum of terror still.
I've got a little shit. I got a little bit of shakes going on because I am about to fucking explode. I'm so fucking pissed off.
Okay, on that note, we're gonna
same subject.
Real quick.
Oh, Bruce,
Yeah,
you gonna piss him off?
Yeah,
No. I just wanted to say that one of the chatters said you should have stayed with Bigfoot, and he said it twice already in the chat.
Yes.
So you should have stayed with
I
Bigfoot.
should have.
That's funny.
I should have. Much lighter topic.
Blame the wheel.
All right. So let's move on to our next segment, Christy. Let's get going.
Sorry, I'm dying.
She's having
COVID.
She just got the
COVID.
coof.
I got the
COVID.
She's got the coof.
She got the COVID call.
Sorry. Okay.
I
All right,
think
we're gonna
I think that's the marijuana joint cough.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Anyway, back to the show, everybody. We're gonna brand you now. I bet you didn't know, Kurt, that you were going to be branded tonight, but not in a weird sex cult way. You will walk away with a Flip City branding.
All right.
So we're gonna get right into it and bring up the first slide. I'm gonna tell you what we're doing tonight. So I do try choosing things that kind of relate to, my guest. And I thought you might like to learn about stars who sold their soul to Satan. Next slide. For real. For real. All right. So the way we're going to do this is we have 6 stars here, and you get to choose one that you'd like to learn about how they sold their soul to Satan. Satan?
Like right now, go ahead, because as soon as I saw it, I'm like, Beyonce.
You want to do Beyonce? Okay, and then we're gonna basically you're just gonna read it, and when you're done reading it, you're Flip City branded.
All right. I read this whole thing?
Yep.
Okay. Ceaselessly celebrated yet demonstrably talentless singer Beyonce has been suspect over bizarre symbology-rich videos, her occultic Coachella performance, and rumors of animal cruelty and black magic from former employees. But the real story has gone untold. Naturally gifted with the most massive ego in the music business, the distended diva recently released her new album named Renaissance, dubbing it only Act 1 of what is apparently to be her magnum opus. Bey allegedly begged arcane deity Baphomet for her career assistance. Tragically, her plea to this dark lord to possess the biggest ass in entertainment backfired when she wound up married to rapper producer Jay-Z. After serving the satanic sacrifices with her spouse, she subsequently supplied her spawn to grooming at the hands of the showbiz machine. The cost of success would be the damnation she would share with her hubby, shooting advertisements for jewelry and perfume for eternity.
All right. You did quite a good read there. And
Thanks.
so we learned that Beyonce for real sold to Satan.
One of many.
The scoop.
One of many celebrities that we saw. We figured it out. We're like, yep.
That's right.
I get it.
Not to mention Sammy Davis Jr. Yeah, no. Got to go back in time.
Man.
Oh, yeah. Well, we didn't
That
cover
whole-
Sammy
that whole
Davis.
Rat
Jr.
Pack. That whole Rat Pack sold their soul.
Wouldn't be surprised. They were very successful.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
Martin,
because
Jerry Lewis, all those guys.
Peter Lorre.
there's a little bit of dated terminology in there because she released Renaissance a couple years ago. Just so you guys know, we are on top of the trends. That is
Right.
we wrote that a couple years ago. I just can't always give you all the new stuff for free on Creative Chaos, which reminds me, anybody that is not subscribed to Flip City and doesn't know what we are, you can always go check us out at flipcitymag.com. And Christmas is coming, so either gift yourself or that comedy fan in your life, or both of you. Just flipcitymag.com. Thought I'd take that opportunity since you are now branded and you have to smile when I pitch now, Kurt. Yes. Good job. Well,
I try to keep the stoic thing going, but it's hard on this show. Let me tell you. This is my usual face.
Oh, so you do. So you already perfected your bitch face.
Oh, I'm a bitch. I am a bitch. Blame me.
I am going to drop your link in the chat one more time. But as far as anything else goes, I mean, where do you want people to find you?
I'm basically only on Twitter and YouTube. I really fucking hate social media. I really do. But it's a necessity. It's a necessary evil. I say it's a necessary evil, especially when you're trying to promote your shit. So Twitter and YouTube, that's where you find me. I've got, I every so often do a show or videos or whatever the fuck I do. That's a way to get a lot of good info there. Not just on what the hell I'm doing, but just kind of, important topics related to kind of what I'm doing in the news and shit.
Are you very active on Twitter?
Man, I wish I wasn't. Like the last week or two, I'm like burnt out. I'm sick of it. I don't even want to fucking open it up on my phone, but you kind of have to because you got to post shit and here's my latest drawing and here's, you know what I mean? So I'm begrudgingly on Twitter lately. Hopefully this is just this little phase and I'll get out of it and I'll be like, back to Twitter. But normally, I usually post 3 times a day. I try to post 3 times a day, like 8 in the morning, noon, and 6 o'clock at night, because you can see the traffic. Just for me, apparently, I guess every fucking person I follow and who follows me is on the East Coast or something, because I shit you not, like 6 o'clock, 6:30 at night, it just fucking dies. My feed dies. And it sucks because I'm like a late night person. Like midnight, I'm like, where's all the late night people? I can post nude art or whatever, grotesque shit. Fucking no one's around. So I'm like, man. So I've got to connect with some late night people out west or something, because dude, it's like pointless for me to even check Twitter after 6 o'clock because like nothing fucking happens. So, but that's it. Those 2 are for me. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. You heard the man. And then Batman, where do you want people to find you?
Well, not only am I here on Thursday nights with you, but I'm also on Sunday nights on Flip City, on pill.net or Foxhole, Rumble, DLive. We're also streaming on, I think, Twitch. Did I say that, Cosmic? I don't remember. Anyway, 3beermen.tv. If you go to 3beermen.tv, click on any of the links that tell you where to find us. And there we are. 7 p.m. Big Apple time, 4 o'clock avocado time, 6 o'clock barbecue time, and 5 o'clock Central time. Check us out.
It's a fun show. You guys go check it out. But Kurt, do you want to address what Vulcan Lives asked?
I just saw this. Yeah, real quick. Okay, man. like bad timing on my part. I had a second chance campaign for volume 1. I just took it down yesterday because I'm down to four books, 4 volume 1 books. Like that's all exist, and we're not printing any for a long time. So there's actually a deal going on right now. If you back volume 2 campaign, and it's only $15, you get a 48-page book once it's finished coming up here for $15. But the last 4 volume 1s, for the next 4 backers, I'm throwing in a volume 1 for free. Ooh. So when you get your, $15 volume 2, the 80-page volume 1 is with it for free. In addition to, we just unlocked the first trading card right here.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Vulcan,
and we're about to
you heard that.
About to unlock the second one. Here's the second one. Suck at this.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that. Vulcan basically for $15, you get the 80-page volume 1 with the 48-page volume 2 and the extras that get unlocked. But you get it at the same time. So it's not like you can get volume 1 now and be like, oh, this is too fucked up for me. I don't want it. It's like, sorry, dude, it's package deal because I just did this yesterday because I'm down to the last 4 books. So basically it means I can only have like 4 more new people who are unfamiliar with this work because all I got is 4 volume 1s left. But at least you get it basically for free. So I would say back volume 2, and you'll be one of those people who gets the last volume 1.
That is a steal and a deal, and especially because it's your last 4 editions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd be that generous.
Yeah.
But if it's too much for you to handle, just for anybody that grabs that deal, if volume 1 is like just too like NC-17 for you, you can go and find one of those little free library boxes and then just put it in there.
Let me real quick. There's a lady friend of mine who's a single mom. Okay. And when she was one of the test subjects, because when the first book was done, I'm like, okay, it's cool to me because I get it, but you can never tell how people are going to react to certain things. So I said, hey, can you do me a favor and, read this over, check it out, and let me know what you think. And I figured, well, she's a single mom, so she's not some fucking Satanist, you know what I mean? She's very normal, she's like a normal person, a normal mom, normal mother, right? Lives in the day. She read it, and a couple days later got back to me, and I'm like, so what'd you think? And I'm like, this is gonna suck, And she's like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. She's like, but not as bad as Game of Thrones. And she was a huge Game of Thrones addict. Like she was like, oh God, I love this show. I'm like, seriously? Because I never saw Game of Thrones. I'm like, Game of Thrones is worse than this? And she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, how much worse? And she's like, a lot worse. I'm like, oh fuck, that's cool. So if you can handle Game of Thrones, then you can easily handle this. That's the measurement of the graphicness. You know what I mean? Apparently Game of Thrones is much more hardcore than my stuff. So there you go.
All right. I like that you have that, that benchmark that somebody gave you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are you just now watching Game of Thrones on principle or something?
You know what?
It's really great for the first few, 4 seasons.
Everyone's like, you got to watch it because it's this dark fantasy and adult. You would think I would love it. And I hate to say it. And I apologize in advance to any midgets or dwarfs in the audience. I couldn't stand a fucking midget. I'm like, there's no fucking way this guy would be a prince or a king. I said someone would punt him like a football over the fucking castle wall. And it's like, okay, I'm king now. You know what I mean? A midget, I'm sorry, is not going to be a badass. I can't take a midget seriously who's, I'm the baddest ass of the king. Like, shut the fuck up. Get out. There you go. You know what I mean? It's like, I watched the first episode and I'm like, nah, I'm going back to Lord of the Rings. Like, I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. You know what I mean? That shit's cool. Conan the Barbarian, Excalibur, all that bloody hardcore shit. I just couldn't deal with Game of Thrones. So I'm like, I never saw it.
All right. Well, I'll forgive you, because it, especially since everybody knows, it ended badly. I won't recommend it to anybody.
That's sad. Like, okay. That's very sad. I saw that. Yeah.
Anyway, okay, well, we're wrapping up for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming and joining Creative Chaos. I think I saw at the peak we had 22 people watching, which is pretty big. And I'm getting a finger. I think Bruce needs to mansplain something.
What's up, Bruce?
Perfect.
I'm trying to do that pledge right now. I'm in the middle of it, but I got stuck. I don't know what happened. I want volume 1.
Yeah.
I want to be one of those 4 people.
Okay. Well, fuck, that's cool, man.
Are you waiting until it goes through so we can cheer?
Yeah, I'm trying, but it's giving me trouble.
Okay. Well, should we go back to the wheel? Should we
Um,
go back to the wheel and give
second,
Bruce
maybe a
another
second.
15 minutes?
There you go.
Okay, we'll make it a flash round. Do the wheel.
I hope-
All right, yes.
2 minutes
Flash
or
round.
less.
Flash round. Flash round. Flash round.
You get first
Levi, I hope
spin.
you're still out there. I see you.
It just gets the first spin.
All right.
2
Hey,
minutes.
cause I know you told me not to add anything to the stage. Can we do a flash round of the wheel? Flash round.
Yay.
Nice. Okay. So I guess we're just gonna say the first thing that pops in our heads when it comes up,
Cool.
whatever it is.
Cool.
We each get a sentence. All right, here we go.
Or should we COVID again?
That'd be an immediate respin.
That'd be a nightmare.
Project
Back to
Mockingbird.
Mockingbird.
I mean,
Again.
come on, that's basically legacy media. That's what that's all about.
Okay.
CIA.
Gotcha.
You know,
I have no clue.
Repeat.
Yeah, boo, CIA. All
Did it
right.
work? Did it work?
No, I'm having trouble.
What is it?
Okay.
The site? What's the problem?
Vulcan Live's back. So it's so nice. We're getting at least 2 backers tonight. Organized crime and world governments. I mean, come on.
Ooh, nice.
Come on, Max. Say something about it.
Wait, you want 2 minutes? I mean, what do we do?
No, not 2 minutes. No, you just
We
say something.
start with the Rothschilds.
Start with the
Let's
Rothschilds.
go with the Rothschilds, and that kind of explains a good part of it.
You can get yourself in big trouble for saying something like that.
That's
and we
all.
don't have our hats on right
Yeah,
now. so
who's
careful.
behind the Illuminati if not the Jesuits? Anybody?
I'm just listening now, man.
All
You
right.
guys are experts. You two the experts. I'm learning.
I am
I'm
not.
taking it.
The Knight Templars never fully went away. How's that?
That's true.
Maybe they became Masons. Maybe they were in southern Spain.
Yep.
Hey, Bruce, do you want to describe what kind of problem you're having?
It won't let me pay. I'm at the blue pledge, and it's
Oh.
not letting me.
Well, I don't know if I know you weren't watching the chat, but Vulcan Live says he backed, so you only got.
Oh, did it work?
3
So
more
it worked.
chances.
So it does work. So because I'm
Yeah.
like, shit, maybe the website is screwed up.
I don't know. I'm at the point.
Okay.
So I'm going through it. It says website tip, no tip. Confirm contribution. Choose other reward.
Are you
Choose
sure?
other reward. I don't know. Contribution. I hit that. Okay.
You're at the volume 2 campaign, right? Volume 2,
Yeah. Volume 2.
Are you?
and just one of the tiers, like the first tier, $15.
Choose
A
reward.
Rothschild
Right?
did bite the dust.
Just one.
Yeah.
Okay. Go to my cart.
Right.
I'm in the cart.
Okay, good. I want to make sure I put the right link in there.
Yeah.
Choose other rewards. I don't know what that means. Apply
Hey.
coupon. No.
Dude, I'm about to get Luke Stone on the horn right now.
Oh, don't bug Luke. He's cool. Luke's
Type
cool.
individual.
Right.
Credit card. I'm choosing a credit card. I'm
Right.
creating a new credit card.
Right.
I'm putting in my credit card information.
Yeah, don't show that.
I'm not. I'm trying very hard not to here.
Okay. Well, this is boring.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm trying
kind
to
of
get this
excited.
done.
Hey, I appreciate
No,
it. Even if it
I
doesn't
am
work, I
actually
appreciate it,
excited.
brother. And
Oh,
you'll get it one way or another.
suspense.
But I wonder if it. Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm easily
sure.
bored. I'm ADD, so.
okay.
But Vulcan,
allowed.
did it work for you? Did it work? For
Yeah,
you?
Yeah,
but
he
he
said
said
it
it went
did.
through for him.
Okay. Well, that's a relief.
So I'm just having some technical difficulties here, but
Try it
I'm
later,
just trying
man.
to put mine through.
That's right. I got 3 left. If Vulcan got 1, well, then there's 3 left. So you got 3 more tries.
Okay, I'm working on it.
Cool.
Um,
But if you
choose
need to
shipping
go,
address.
Miss Kitty, we can.
Oh no, I'm fine chilling for a while.
Cool.
It's just
Putting in the mobile. All right, we're down to pledge, and I'm hitting pledge. Please confirm by checking this box you agree to the terms and services, but there's no box to check.
Well, just kind of start clicking around to the left.
Yeah.
Cookie policy, cookie policy, cookie policy. What the fuck?
We're getting spicy.
All right.
Return.
I hit return?
Yeah, like sometimes that chooses a.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes. You can choose a button.
All right.
Usually it's a tab. It's a tab.
He says, Levi says it's a little box on the left.
Little box on the left.
A little box on the left.
Yep. Thank you, Levi.
Wait. I think it's going through. Yes.
Woo!
All right, man. Dude, I totally appreciate it. I hope you like it. I hope you're not disappointed.
That is
because
really
it's a weird
awesome.
one, man. It's a weird one.
I promise you I won't be disappointed because
I don't say
you
that.
and I have a lot of the same tastes.
I'm just saying it's a weird one. It's not like your traditional comic. It's not like I'm just fucking hear me right now. It's not like a traditional comic. You'll
really
figure it out as
selling
soon as you see it. When as soon as you see it, you'll be like, oh, he fucking wasn't kidding. This isn't like traditional comic. So, but if they're friends of mine who are far from geniuses and they get it, you know what I'm saying? So believe me, it's cool.
I'm sure
it's
I'll get it
different.
too, and it won't be a problem.
I hope you like it, man.
You don't know me at all, Kurt, other than
No.
what you see tonight. But
right,
I'm an analog man in this digital world, and I'm one of those people that carry 4 knives on me at any given time because
You're
I don't
old school.
trust anybody.
Dude, you actually remind it's funny, we're probably like close to the same age, you and I. You remind me of a great uncle of mine. I'm not saying you're a fucking as old as a great uncle. I'm just saying there was a great uncle of mine who was a wood carver, and he was in World War II, and same kind of guy like you, man. He was fucking cool, and he always had knives on him at all times. So you're like my kind of guy. You'd be like a character. Oh, good man. You'd be like a character in the story, actually. And if I can keep doing this, maybe I'll throw you in as a character in this story, as like selling knives as a merchant or some fucking thing. I don't know.
You gotta make sure you get the mustache. You gotta make
dude.
sure the mustache. That's
Perfect.
my trademark.
That's what you're like I said, you're like a character, man. And that's what's so fucking cool is like more people need to do that. They need to like become characters instead of just these normal 2024 boring motherfuckers. Yeah, you got some good knives. I'd have to get up and get my knives, but I collect knives and swords and all sorts of fucked up shit. So I'm glad you got them on you, dude. That's
wow.
That's cool. You got some good stuff. Good for you, man. I totally appreciate it. You're my kind of guy. I can tell already. Very cool.
All right. We got 2 backers tonight. I think that's the most
cool.
that's ever happened on a Creative Chaos. So
I appreciate
thank you
it.
to the Batman and to Vulcan Lives for backing the project.
Vulcan and the Batman.
You did not waste your time tonight, sir.
Oh man, dude! Even if I had no backers, it's cool. I mean, we streamed for 3.5 hours on my show.
We
had a ball.
I know.
And tell your husband, hey for me, because because remember he was on. It was like you two were both on screen and we were screwing around. It was cool. So I tell him I appreciate everything he does. He's a cool guy.
You know what's funny is I saw Pops come in late after I had introduced Max, and he goes, "Hi, Scott." No, like that's not Scott. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here tonight. It was so awesome to catch up with you again, Kurt. And then you guys come back next week. I've got Max DeVille coming on, and that's true. Cool. It is true. I will have my fill of Maxes to talk. I believe he is a writer. He's a writer. I don't think he is an illustrator. I met him over on Doc's Coffee Shop a few weeks ago, and I didn't get a word edgewise because they're all military people. So they were just swapping stories the whole time. So I'm excited to get to know him next week. So same time, same place, Creative Chaos, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we'll see you guys next week. See ya.
Yay. Thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, Kurt. We had a blast.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You have a good night.
God bless everybody.
Cheers.
Okay, class. List everything insensitive, exclusionary, bigoted, nationalistic, misogynistic,
and offensive that you can find in history's great myths and legends. Extra points for suffering panic attacks or emotional outbursts. Fact check every opinion against the lived experience of your comrades and allies, so you can avoid forming a criminal opinion. Scrutinize it cover to cover. Wrongthink, misgendering, dead naming, misinformation, microaggressions. Leave no page unturned.
You can see who left. Okay. Yeah, Kurt did take off. Kurt took off.
Dossier. And
Huh?
you are that a complete hoax.
What was that?
I'm sorry. I took my girlfriend's phone back. I have the secondary phone that I used for the office, right? It's got my logo on the back of it. Anyway, I had it on autoplay and something else came on, and it was H.A. Goodman talking about how Kash Patel is going to be confirmed as the head of the FBI. So Christopher Wray is out the fucking door with a boot up his ass. Thank you, Kash Patel. But he was just talking about it, and it came on. I'm like, what the hell was that? And I couldn't find the phone. So I was like, what did I do wrong?
Oh,
And then
hey,
I realized I was on mic.
Cause we're still live.
Hey.